We're rolling and recording.
Hello, welcome to the Downtown Variety Show from the Carnegie Community Centre Theatre. My name is Sam Snobelen and I'm your host. Tonight for your enjoyment, we have for you a diverse selection of music, poetry, and magic. Les Nelson is one of the leading lights here at the Carnegie Centre of the First Nation drum group Harmony of Nations. Les will say some words of welcome and sing a traditional song.
Yo, Weekses, Gail. I'd like to acknowledge that we're on ceded territory of Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and Musqueam. I'm going to sing you a song. Whoa.
Dalannah Gail Bowen is a longtime downtown Eastside resident and one of Vancouver's blues queens. Dalannah and her bass player Owen present blues music in a new and very innovative way. Recently, Dalannah and Owen were inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame in the United States. Tonight they present for you a selection of their original material.
Suzanne and the devil walking side by side. Some joker, he got lucky and he took her for a ride. You better come on in my kitchen. Said it's bound to be raining outdoors. The man I love stole my best friend. Another man, Lord, he got lucky and he stole her back again. You better come on in my kitchen, 'cause it's bound to be raining outdoors. When a woman gets in trouble, everybody throws her down, and she's looking for a good friend. None can be found. Say you better come on, Lord, come on in my kitchen, 'cause it's bound to be raining outdoors. Go ahead. When a woman gets in trouble, everybody put her down. And she looking for a good friend, none can be found. You better come on, Lord, in my kitchen, 'cause it's bound to be raining outdoors. Suzanne and the devil walking side by side. Sad joker, he got lucky and he took her for a ride. You better come out, Lord, in my kitchen. It's bound to be raining outdoors. Thank you so much. Thank you. So this is an original, and this is the title of our new CD. It's called Been Around a While, because I have. Ain't no secret what I've seen, the highs, the lows, in betweens. But there is one thing that is true, all that living can be good for you. And I'm walking with a smile. I've been around a while. Yeah. Well, I've seen the good, seen the bad, seen some times that made me sad. There is one thing that is true, the choice you make, it's up to you. I've walked the longest mile, yes, I've been around a while. don't have all the answers. I don't know where you've been, but right now I'm celebrating, grinning in my own skin, yeah. Another day, here comes another chance. Lord, walk in freedom, cherish life's romance. Now I'm walking in my style. Yes, I've been around, 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 been around. Thanks so much, everybody. Enjoy your evening. Thank you.
Merlin Cosmos is a downtown Eastside resident with a decades-long history of performing his magic across Canada. Tonight, Merlin will present for you a small sample of his vast repertoire of magic and comedy.
I'm going to begin by placing all of you under a mild hypnotic spell. Some of you may be ahead of me on that. It takes the form of an optical illusion, the illusion being I have a card with 4 sides with 1 spot on this, 4 on this, 3 on this, 6 on the other. I realize you are too amazed to applaud. 1 on this, 4 on this, 3 on this, 6 on the other. Good audience, usually they're hostile. 1 on this, 4 on this. The reason we don't tell you how these things are done is because the explanations are usually not that profound. As you can see, I have a card with 5 spots. When you cover the space, the mind of the audience fill in the blanks. It looks like there are 6. When you cover the spot, it looks like, well, you can only see 4. So the same is true on this side. It looks like there are 3. Actually, there are
4.
2. I'll have what you're having. Actually, there are
2.
We have some scholars present. There are 2. Yes, I know math is hard. We cover the space, it looks like there are 3. You cover the spot, you can see only 1, so you can see how it looks like 6. It looks like 3. If you don't explain it or overdo it, people will say they see 6 spots on one side, 3 on the next. In fact, they'll swear there are more. So to continue the magical atmosphere of enchantment we've created, I should tell you, people ask me the same question over and over again over 40 years. The most common question I'm asked is the same one I would ask any of you. How did you get started? Where did it all begin? And I don't know how it was for the other guys, but for me, it began on the boardwalk of Atlantic City. Or was it the freak show on the midway of the Canadian National Exhibition? No matter, this is a true story, and you can believe it because it is true. But then I am a pathological liar. But not really. Now, I was just a kid when I saw my first 3-card Monty. You know the Monty, the Hustle the Wise guys run out on the boulevard. They call it Find the Lady, Chase the Ace, the Sidewalk Shuffle. The game that's played with their cards and your money. Now, when I first saw the Monty, the cards weren't nearly this big, but I was younger then, and I want you to remember this as I do. There are many ways to play the Monty. When I saw it, it looked something like this. The fellow took 3 cards, a queen, a king, and an ace. The lady, the gent, and the spot. Then he shuffled the cards up, something like this. If the hands were proportionate, this would be a lot snappier. Then he tosses a card down and asks you to guess which one is down. If you're right, you win. If you're wrong, you lose. A little game of hanky-poo, 2 for him, 1 for you. Which one do you figure?
Queen of Hearts.
Go ahead, make a guess to yourself. How'd you do? If you were right, you did better than most. You gotta wonder, why after all the, did I mess this up? You gotta wonder why after all these years people still bet on the money. Why they come running out to play this old hustle, but they do. You know what I think it is? I think it's the sweet simplicity of the thing that draws them in. I mean, it's just 1, 2, and a toss. And it's not the cards you have to watch, it's the man who deals the game. He's the one to watch. It's from him you'll either learn or lose, depending on how you view the situation. I don't know much about this world, folks, but most of what I do know I learned from the fellow who dealt the lady, the gent, and the spot. He taught me that when you're betting on a sure thing, because it's money coming from home and you've got your ace planted firmly in the hole, that, friends, is the time to save some money for cab fare. Because the idea is to keep an open mind, but not so open your brains fall out. He taught me that respect is something you give long before you get, and that trust is what you save for yourself. I learned that the large print giveth what the small print taketh away. He taught me to never eat at a place called Mom's. Never. Never shoot dice with a guy called Pops. But most of all, the Monty taught me that a fool and his money were lucky to get together in the first place. Well, did you like that? Yeah. If you like that, remember my name is Merlin, the most trusted name in magic. No, really, did you enjoy that? You have a special part to play. I mean, you're part of the show. That's who we do it for. You know, some of us were amazed, and some of us laughed. Some of us applauded, some of us didn't. But it's all part of the show. You know, the great thing about magic is you get all caught up in it. Stop thinking about things going on in the real world, like where the car is parked and what they're doing to it now. And that's rare in our lives. Usually we're thinking about how things were last week, or how they might be better next week if only they changed a little bit. Yes, I am talking about relationships. Not the kind of relationship you have with the bank manager or the laugh you share over a lunch counter, but those relationships that really make our lives vibrate. They're living things, like a seedling. Did you know you can crack a seedling, plant a seedling under concrete and it will crack its way through? And just as easily, you can crush the life out of it between two fingers. They're delicate things, as delicate as a piece of thread, and just as easily broken. Relationships can end for many reasons, believe me, I know. I once demanded great beauty. You won't let me be who I really am, I said. You're intellectually dull and your cooking's mundane, she said. And the really tough one, please, don't go. I really need you. And yet relationships often end in this kind of destruction. We keep hoping, we keep trying, we keep wishing that we could undo things that have been done, take back things that have been said, restore that which is being destroyed. Now, if you could do that the way I do that, with a piece of thread, that, my friends, would be real magic. I want to thank you for your time. If you want to speak to me after the show, I'll be at the back fishing for compliments. You want to follow my career, I'll be taking the number 22 bus home. You've been a wonderful audience. I don't say that every day. I don't work every day. And after 40 years of doing this, hellos are marvelous. Goodbyes leave me speechless.
Next we have for you Muriel Williams of the Gitxsan First Nation. Muriel is a downtown Eastside resident and poet, and tonight she is presenting her original poetry.
Vancouver, the earthquake will happen. The earthquake could happen if they chase away all the downtown Eastsiders. Chase them away for high-rise CDs, playing fluty music from the Pied Piper for the affluent, casino gamblers, and right-wing politicians. The earthquake will happen and gobble them up, for it too is greedy, but in a different way. It too cleans up the area. Politics, who yonder doors have brought in nothing but consequence, that of lack of conscience, that which waltz through doing the two-step, a rancid favor, a smile, a curtsy, all the above, lined and lineaged on the face, on the soul of prodigies, paper kisses. Speak. To come from a place where to speak up is dangerous, where not to is compliance. To come from a place, just such a place, don't we all, in some form or another? Image. Image can be an empty vase that those of us who look upon fill with our imaginations, dreams, desires, perversions, our own personal volume of fiction. The end.
Bob Sung lives in Vancouver, and he spends much of his time in Chinatown, where you will often find him leading walking tours about Chinese food and cuisine. Bob is also a very fine storyteller.
Several years ago, I took a writing workshop put on by the Chinese Canadian Historical Society. The writing workshop was called Eating Stories. It was a Chinese and Aboriginal feast. It compelled me to write about family and food histories and a corresponding recipe. And this is one of the stories. It's called You're a Big Boy Now. So when I was 14, I graduated from, well, I don't know, grade 9 or grade 10. Really good marks. My parents rewarded me with a trip to California to spend some time at a camp. Really excited, especially as my first time flying on a plane by myself. Makes a difference. So I'm on the plane. My mom is freaking out, and she doesn't want me flying by myself. And I keep on telling Mom, hey, Mom, I'm okay. I'm a big boy now. So I get on the plane, and I'm flying on the plane. And I meet this other Asian teenager. His name is David. And we're flying down. I befriended him. He's sitting next to me. So we fly into San Francisco, get into the airport. Waiting on the curb, waiting for a taxi. This taxi drives up. We jump in the cab, bags in the trunk, jump in the cab. It was an African-American taxi driver. And we took off. And then David and I are sitting in the back seat, and I pinched David, and I said to him in Cantonese, hey, siao gai. Now, siao gai is soy sauce chicken, but it's a derogatory term for African American. So we're on the freeway going into San Francisco, and when he heard siao gai, we're on the freeway, he swerves to the curb, jams on the brakes, looks at me and goes, "Don't you ever call me a soy sauce chicken." And then I just, oh my God. So he tears off, he goes to the next clover leaf and goes back and returns back to the airport. He stops where he picked us up, he gets out of the car, tells us to get the hell out of the car, marches into the trunk, gets our bags and throws our bags onto the curb. And his final words were, "You little chink bastards." So all of a sudden you see him jamming on the accelerator, blue smoke in his rear wheels, he's just taking off. Well, this other guy, David, was not impressed with me, so he just took off. So here I was, standing on the curb, feeling like a really total idiot for doing a racial slur. And part of that racial slur, I would feel the same way if someone did that to me. So it's really interesting that at that time, I became a big boy at that time. So it's a really good lesson. And the corresponding recipe I have with the short story is how to make soy sauce chicken. So that's my story. Thanks.
Mike Richter is a fixture at the Carnegie Community Centre. A musician, composer, and leader of the Carnegie Sing-Along Choir. Tonight, Mike is performing for you two of his songs. They are called Child of Light, and the second one is Play the Game.
Hello, I'm Libby Davies, wishing Carnegie TV success in portraying the stories of people and places, news and views of those living in the downtown east side. Thanks to the Carnegie Community Centre for initiating the effort and all the staff and volunteers who make Carnegie TV possible. Good luck to everybody.
Diane Wood, a downtown east side resident, is an artist, poet, and the host of the Carnegie Centre Poetry Cabaret. Tonight, Diane is reading a selection of her poetry.
In 2008, we put together a book of poetry by writers in the neighborhood, and we called it The Soul of Vancouver, Voices from the Downtown East Side. There are 26 writers in this book, and several of them are sitting in the audience today. I'm going to read a couple of my poems. This one's called Goodbye. Say goodbye to the downtown east side as we know it. The yuppies buying condos don't want to see us. Don't want to know about sandwiches and soup lines when they shop at Nestor's. Don't care what a great pair of shoes you scored at First United while they're buying a leather jacket for their dog. Won't be looking for a dollar bag at Sunrise or in any dumpsters. Don't want to know where to get a free haircut when they're shopping for a wig. And they flinch when they see us, the people who made this community what it is, doing what we do in broad daylight. The second poem's called Listen. Listen to us, to all of us who aren't trying to sell dope on the corner, who have our arms out for a handshake or a hug, not spare change. Listen to the laughter in a sunny park, the highs and hays and hellos when friends intersect, and the kisses goodbye. That's love and community and people who look you in the eye when they pass you by. If all you hear is up, down, rigs and threes, then you're not listening. Thank you.
Steve Edwards lives in the downtown east side, and he has been involved in the music business for years. Steve is very active in the music programs at the Carnegie Centre, and his music has been very heavily influenced by Jimi Hendrix, who himself lived here in the East End when he was quite young. Our jazz band tonight is Brad Muirhead and Friends. Brad is a trombone player and the leader of the Carnegie Jazz Band. And tonight he is with Terry Hunter on piano, Randy Morrison on sax, Gary Wilderman on drums, and Dave Gurkovics on bass. They will play for you two songs, Tennessee Creek Sweetgrass by Terry Hunter and Killer Miller by Brad Muirhead.
Thank you. That was a blues penned by our piano player, Terry, called Tennessee Sweetgrass. Thank you. This is a portion of the Carnegie Jazz Band featuring Randy Morrison, Gary Wildeman on the drums, Dave Gerkovics on bass, and Terry Hunter on piano. I'm Brad Muirhead, and that's all for us for tonight.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed the Downtown Variety Show from the Carnegie Community Centre Theatre. On behalf of Carnegie TV cast, crew, and production team, we wish you all the best.
Apparently it's our good friend Igor's birthday today. And it was also our dear friend Dalannah's birthday just a couple of days ago, I hear. 29. So, yeah, right. Yeah, 29 and 30, right? Yeah, right. So we're going to play